Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about Melissa Benoist and what she said in a recent interview. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. Okay, so we have some potentially big news about the Supergirl film and their casting process right now, and also we got an interview with Melissa Benoist. It's over at Collider, and I'm breaking down a CBR article, so I'll leave a link in the description below to the actual interview. It's a video, it's quite a long interview, so if you're a fan of Melissa, it's like 30-ish minutes long. There is a lot of good stuff within the interview. It's on Collider Ladies Night, and Melissa is very fun during this interview. There's a lot of good questions, and yeah, it's just very well conducted, and there is a lot to break down, and we're breaking down a CBR article because they have very handily broken some of the parts down that are to do with Supergirl specifically, because I want to stay on topic, because obviously we'll talk about Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm obviously really looking forward to Supergirl tomorrow. I really hope that you guys are. It's supposedly going to start filming in the fall, so that would mean around October time, November time, somewhere around there. And we know we've got an official release date. It's not for a couple years, but at least we're looking good right now. They're getting started nice and early. The screenplay is done. We've got Supergirl cast already, but we got to cast the other roles. Now, for those of you guys who have read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which I highly recommend you do, you know there is only a couple of main characters within the actual comic book. So that is the villain. He's called Krem. And then also there is an alien girl who is in it, who is like going along, tagging along with Supergirl throughout this entire adventure that is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and her name is Ruthie. And so they are looking to cast both of those actors for those roles. Now those roles are very important to Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Again, I don't know how many changes there is going to be from the actual comic book, but having read the comic book like at least twice myself, I know quite a lot about it. And for Krem, you gotta look for someone quite mean, kind of gruff looking, kind of like a Oliver Queen type, but you know, on the more villainous side, I guess. And in the comic book, he's actually ginger, so I guess they're gonna kind of look for someone who looks rather similar to the character. But anyway, they're looking for a 25 to a 45-year-old for Krem, the villain in the film. And so in the film, he's not like got any superpowers or anything. He's just like this serial killer or this like assassin who is just running rogue around the galaxy, and he crosses paths with Supergirl. He does something terrible, and Supergirl ends up hunting him down instead of him hunting her down. And so yeah, Krem goes on the run. And so I don't really have any specific ideas for any big names right now, but if you guys have any ideas, I feel like it should be someone kind of random, to be honest, but it should be someone that looks the part, definitely. And so let's talk about Ruthie. So she is a young girl, and she finds Supergirl and asks her to avenge her father. So her father has just been killed by Krem. As I said, Krem is kind of like a mercenary, and so she is just a young girl, but she finds Supergirl and they tag along together along this kind of long, kind of dark adventure, trying to get after Krem. And so Ruthie can be pretty much anyone who is like a teenager, you know, 13 to 16-ish. And so I don't think that role is going to be super hard to cast. I think Krem is going to be more important overall. And one thing that is really interesting is that apparently they're looking for a voice actor for Krypto. Now, Krypto is a big thing in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. If you've read the book, you know why. And obviously she's Supergirl's companion. But the question is, are they looking for a voice actor for Krypto to do dog voices, like you know, barking and dog sounds and stuff like that? That's what I mean. Or are they looking to get someone to actually voice act Krypto, like make Krypto speak? I really hope it's for the prior, so for him just, you know, making noises, barking and everything like that, because I think it would be a bit weird if, you know, Krypto started talking, because he doesn't do that in the comics normally, or at least in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. There is like multiple, bits within the book where he's just like woofing and stuff, and it's actually on the comic book where it says woof. So I would hope they would go for someone like, I know there is this famous actor, or not famous but his work is famous. If you look at like Avatar: The Last Airbender or Legend of Korra, there's always this one guy doing all the creatures on that. So I would like someone who is specialized in creatures, in animals, to do the role of Krypto. And so this is all coming from Daniel RPK. Now I'm not saying this is 100% certain about the age range, but I'm pretty goddamn sure that they're going to be casting soon, because if they want to shoot in the fall, these are really important roles, including Krypto, because these three are the most important people in the comic book, apart from obviously Supergirl. And that's because, as I said, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is very isolated. Yes, they go around to different planets, they see the red suns of another galaxy, and they take a bus kind of into the middle of the cosmos, and it's great. Like, there is a lot of aliens, you're going to see a lot of good special effects and good makeup and prosthetics. Hopefully that's what you're supposed to see, but the main characters are just Supergirl, Krem, Ruthie, and also Krypto, and that's pretty much it. And there is just a few other roles that are going to have like one-liners, and that's pretty much it. Again, they could totally change the comic, and it could be different from what I'm expecting, and I'm just talking about like as if it's comic book accurate. Now obviously most films and TV shows aren't exactly comic book accurate, but this is a really good story that I think would adapt well by being accurate to the comics, so we'll have to wait and see. But for now, let's move on and talk about Melissa Benoist a little bit. So as I said, you can check out the video of Melissa in the link in the description below, but this is the CBR article that we're breaking down. So the House of the Dragon star Millie Alcock will portray Kara Zor-El / Supergirl in the DC universe. Ahead of her debut, former Supergirl actor Melissa Benoist has offered Alcock some advice about playing the fan favorite hero. So in the interview, Melissa shares basically how she got along with, portraying such a recognized and beloved character for 6 years. I would say at this point, when she started and when she signed up, Supergirl wasn't really beloved by the whole of DC and the whole of, everyone out there. I think Melissa has, through her performance and through the many seasons of Supergirl, cemented Supergirl as a very important character within DC. I have argued previously that I don't think Sasha Calle would have been Supergirl in the Flash film if it wasn't for Melissa. I don't think Supergirl would be there full stop. I think that connection between the Flash and Supergirl in the Arrowverse was so special that they wanted to recreate that magic on the big screen with the DCU, but obviously that Flash film was just, not very good overall, so I understand why they want to go in a different direction, and that's what they're doing with Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And so yeah, Melissa talked about all of this. She also revealed what Alcock and other Supergirl performers should keep at the front of their mind while portraying Supergirl. And so she said, I think what always drove me while working on that show was the audience, and I knew who I was making the show for. And she says, of course, I know she is an iconic character that spans many generations of fans, but the people that I was making the show for while we were making it were young women, and if I kept that in the forefront of my mind, it always made everything palatable. So there you have it. That is what Melissa has pretty much always said. She's been very consistent. Every time she's been asked a similar question, she's always said, she's kept her main audience in mind. Obviously, she's got a larger audience. Like, we're all fans of Supergirl. You don't have to be a young woman to enjoy it, but that's specifically who she is inspiring, like those young girls who are out there watching Supergirl, and it can be very formative for them. So yeah, it's very important when you're portraying Supergirl that you get it right. And so that is her suggestion for all future Supergirl actors, including Millie Alcock. She doesn't specifically refer to Alcock, however, that is definitely important for her to think about, at least when going into doing her Supergirl film, because her Supergirl film, it has to be said, is going to be very different from Melissa's Supergirl. and they have hammered that in since the start, because as I said, this is a dark comic book. This is not the same style of Supergirl as Melissa Supergirl. You pick up in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow and it's Supergirl's 21st birthday and she's drinking alone after just turning 21, and she's on a planet with a red sun so she can feel the effects of alcohol. Like, it is very different from Melissa Supergirl. However, she can definitely take on board the advice that Melissa is giving for future Supergirls, and I think that's still very important to realize. But again, this is a different type of Supergirl, so obviously it's going to be very different in the end, and it's going to be a little bit less like hopeful and optimistic throughout the whole thing. However, by the end, obviously Supergirl does show her power. Like, she's extremely powerful within Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and the stuff she does is kind of insane. So, you know, that in itself is going to be very powerful. It doesn't necessarily mean she's going to inspire people to go around wielding a sword or anything like that, because let me tell you, she does that in the comic books and it's pretty sick in my opinion. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.